It's your boy Travis Hunter,
And Liana.
and we back with another
Video.
Now I want to get into a story I've seen percolating in the headlines, and so
The story of Travis Hunter and Leanna Len has exploded into a cultural phenomenon far beyond the confines of sports headlines or celebrity gossip. It's a saga that captures the raw tension of love, fame, and the unrelenting scrutiny of the digital age. Travis, a Heisman Trophy winner and the number 2 overall draft pick, should be riding the crest of his meteoric rise. Instead, he and his fiancée, Leanna, find themselves at the epicenter of a public storm, their every move dissected, their relationship weaponized by a relentless online mob. What began as a love story between two young people has spiraled into a spectacle, with sports media titan Stephen A. Smith stepping into the fray, not to talk stats or game plans, but to defend a couple under siege. His voice, a familiar roar across television screens, has turned this personal drama into a broader commentary on loyalty, judgment, and the cost of fame. The narrative begins with Travis Hunter, a once-in-a-generation athlete whose dual threat prowess as a wide receiver and cornerback has made him a household name. His journey from college stardom to NFL prospect is the kind of fairy tale that inspires awe. Yet, instead of basking in adulation, Travis and Leanna have been thrust into a public arena where their relationship is scrutinized with forensic intensity. Every gesture, every glance, every moment of their shared life has been picked apart, twisted into narratives that paint them as everything from star-crossed lovers to a cautionary tale of ambition and betrayal. The internet, with its insatiable appetite for drama, has turned their story into a feeding frenzy, and Leanna, in particular, has borne the brunt of the criticism. The controversy ignited during the Heisman Trophy ceremony, a night that should have been a pinnacle of celebration for Travis. A fleeting moment captured on camera, Leanna hesitating to stand and cheer as Travis accepted his award, set off a firestorm. Social media erupted, branding her as cold, detached, or worse, disinterested in her partner's triumph. That single clip, looped endlessly across platforms, became the spark for a narrative that snowballed into something far uglier. Suddenly, Leanna was no longer just Travis's fiancée. She was a villain in a story she didn't write. The internet's magnifying glass zeroed in on her, transforming innocuous moments into evidence of betrayal. Her luxury gifts from Travis, a Hello Kitty-themed Tesla, a customized Mercedes unveiled at their wedding, became ammunition for those eager to label her a gold digger. Every smile seemed calculated, every tear rehearsed, every outfit a calculated bid for attention. The obsession with tearing her down grew so intense that both she and Travis deactivated their social media accounts, retreating from a spotlight they never sought. Stephen A. Smith's intervention was a turning point. Known for his fiery takes on sports, he stepped into this personal saga with a ferocity that caught even his critics off guard. His defense of Leanna wasn't just a rebuttal to the rumors. It was a full-throated condemnation of the online mob. With his trademark intensity, he called the criticism vicious and baseless, challenging the narrative that had painted Leanna as an opportunist. He didn't shy away from naming names, pointing fingers at athletes, influencers, and fans who had joined the pile-on. His words were a gauntlet thrown down, daring the critics to justify their attacks. For Stephen A., this wasn't just about defending a young couple. It was about exposing the machinery of public judgment, a system that thrives on tearing people apart for clicks and clout. His stance shifted the conversation, forcing people to question whether the hate directed at Leanna was rooted in genuine concern or simply the thrill of destruction. The backdrop to this drama is a relationship that began long before the headlines. Travis and Leanna's story stretches back to their teenage years, a time when fame was a distant dream. They've weathered storms together, from the pressures of young love to the challenges of Travis's rising star. Yet the public narrative has reduced their bond to a series of viral moments and whispered conspiracies. Rumors of a secret prenup have added fuel to the fire, with some suggesting that Travis's family pushed for a protective agreement to safeguard his multi-million-dollar NFL future. The implication is clear: even those closest to him might not fully trust Leanna. Whether true or not, these whispers have given critics a storyline to cling to, framing her as a potential liability in a world where fortunes can vanish with a single misstep. The online onslaught has been relentless. former NFL star Dez Bryant publicly urged Travis to end the relationship, warning him to cut ties before it's too late. Controversial commentator Charleston White added his own inflammatory remarks, fanning the flames with commentary that shocked even his followers. Across social media, fans have weighed in with a mix of advice and condemnation, their comments less like opinions and more like public verdicts. Every new clip, Leanna turning away from a post-game kiss, looking distracted at a meet and greet, becomes another piece of evidence in the case against her. The scrutiny is so intense that she can't move without it being broadcast, analyzed, and judged. Even her attempts to respond, like explaining her hesitation at the Heisman ceremony by noting she was following Travis's mother's lead, have been twisted into further proof of her guilt. The court of public opinion has no room for nuance. Every word, every action is weaponized. Travis, too, has felt the weight of this storm. He's deactivated his Instagram, spoken openly about the toll the criticism has taken, and admitted that Leanna has been brought to tears by the relentless judgment. Yet he remains defiant, refusing to let strangers dictate the course of his relationship. "I know what I got," he told fans, his voice raw with conviction. "My girl's been with me for 5 years. Y'all are just now starting to talk about me." His words are those of a man standing his ground, unwilling to let the noise drown out his truth. But even his defiance has been spun into a narrative of denial, with critics suggesting he's too blinded by love to see the warning signs. Stephen A. Smith's defense has added a new layer to the saga. Unlike Travis, who could be dismissed as too close to the situation, Stephen A. is an outsider with no personal stake in the outcome. His willingness to step into the fray has elevated the story beyond a celebrity romance gone wrong. It's now a clash between one of sports media's most powerful voices and the collective will of the internet. By calling out the celebrities and influencers who fueled the controversy, he's exposed the ecosystem that thrives on drama. Dez Bryant's advice, Charleston White's rants, and the endless fan accounts dissecting Leanna's every move, are they rooted in genuine concern or simply chasing relevance? Stephen A.'s words have forced a reckoning, challenging the mob to confront its own motivations. The irony is that every attempt by Travis and Leanna to address the criticism seems to backfire. When Leanna took to social media to explain herself, her words were dissected and dismissed. Old videos from her past, music clips, party footage from before she met Travis were dragged up as evidence of a hidden agenda. Her attempt to clap back at critics, calling them bird-brain individuals, only fueled the fire. Even her decision to change her Instagram handle to reflect Travis's last name was mocked as a branding move rather than a gesture of commitment. The couple's efforts to tell their story have been drowned out by a narrative that's taken on a life of its own. As Travis prepares to enter the NFL, the stakes are higher than ever. The league is a crucible that tests not just athletic ability but personal relationships. History is filled with stories of young stars whose personal lives crumbled under the weight of fame, fortune, and temptation. Travis, poised to sign a potentially historic rookie contract, faces a future where every decision will be magnified. The rumors of a prenup, whether true or not, the fragility of trust in a world where money and fame can strain even the strongest bonds. Leanna, meanwhile, is navigating a role she never anticipated, the scrutinized partner of a rising star. Every move she makes is compared to the idealized image of an NFL spouse, a role that demands poise, discretion, and resilience under pressure. Leanna's response to the criticism has been to lean into a narrative of personal growth. Her social media posts, often laced with spiritual language, paint a picture of a woman seeking strength through faith and self-reflection. She's spoken of breaking free from the shackles of online judgment, positioning herself as someone evolving under the weight of public scrutiny. To her supporters, this is a sign of authenticity, a young woman maturing in real time. But her critics see it differently, dismissing her posts as carefully crafted attempts at image control. The timing of her messages, often appearing after a new wave of controversy, has fueled skepticism, with some arguing that her emotional displays are too polished to be genuine.